Hello everyone, this is Taryn with Wonderfully Made Handcrafting, and I have gotten so many requests on how I edit and flip and crop stuff in Silhouette Studio. This is a program software that you do not need a Silhouette machine to use. I actually have a Silhouette Cameo. However, 99% of the time I just print these off and fussy cut them because I don't mind fussy cutting, and it is a wonderful free software to use in case you want to do this kind of stuff. I actually have the business edition, but there is a free edition as well. I know there's something, I think, that you can't bring PDFs into the free edition. So if you're using a PDF and trying to bring that in to the software, I would suggest using a PDF converter somewhere on the internet and converting that over so that you can bring it in. I believe it does take JPEGs, the free version. So just going from a PDF to a JPEG. But since I have the business edition, that is no problem for me. But anyways, I decided I would just sit down. This is live, so hopefully it goes well. And just show you kind of what I do. I have done this multiple times on Instagram, but I figured having a YouTube video would be more appropriate. Unfortunately, I tried a bunch of screen recordings and those all failed to show everything, or I had to pay an astronomical price to pay for a software to do that. So we are just screen recording by using my camera to record my computer screen. So hopefully that works for you. But here I go. So first off, I'm going to file and open. And then I'm going to use, let's see, which one should I do first? I'm going to do Grandma's Pics. And then I really love this picture right here. Now this does mean that it's low resolution because it is blown up so much. So I want to make sure to take that down quite a ways. Let's just get this down. I'm going to leave it a little bit big so that you can see me do what I need to do. I'm going down over here to the open the trace panel tool right here. It's already open because I was already working on Silhouette Studio today. And I'm going to select trace area. So I'm going to come over here and just make a little box around this. And then afterwards, it's going to show a little bit of yellow, but I'm going to come over here and make that threshold so that every edge is yellow, because that's going to help me pull that out. So I'm just going to do trace and detach. And sometimes the trace and detach takes a little bit of time. That one wasn't too bad. So now you see I have that whole section, and I'm gonna reach over and press delete on my screen, and that's going to leave me with this beautiful photo of my grandma. I am doing a junk journal kind of her life. So I am putting that on the page right there. So that would be one photo, but let's grab some other things. So if you have some papers, like I have some, let's see, my grandma wrote in a little composition notebook a bunch of poems that she enjoyed. And so my mom had scanned these in. So all these are like scanned in to a printer / scanner. And then she emails them to me so I can reuse them without using the actual real deal. I'll come over to this drawing tool and use the rectangle. Now see how this is not exactly straight? It's no big deal. So I'm going to trace around that and make a red rectangle, and then I'm going to come up here to the little pointer tool, and we're going to kind of make sure that it's on the line. And so I'm going to zoom in a little bit so I can make sure that that grid is on the right side, like lining up with the lines. And then I'm going to stretch it up a little bit to make sure to get that top and bring this in so it's not past the page. Let's see, the bottom needs to come up some. And then we don't need the gutter of the book, so we'll just kind of come over some. Let's see. That looks pretty good. And I will get out of here a little bit. Then I'm going to highlight everything, press Shift on my keyboard, and then I'm going to come over here where it says open the modify panel, and then I'm going to click on the background that I want deleted, and then I'm going to click crop over here, and there it is, left right there. It does look a little wonky because it wasn't straight, but I can make it look straight. And I can make it smaller as well. What's great about Silhouette is that you can modify it by just shrinking it down by the corner, or I could click up here and then click this lock aspect ratio because I don't want it to look wonky. If I didn't click that little lock, it would make it look so when I took a certain, or, you know, moved it a little bit, or added my numbers, then it would make it look super wonky and not aligned or in aspect. I'm not sure. Anyways, yeah, lock aspect ratio. But anyways, I'm sorry. My words are kind of not in the right place. But let's say I wanted it to be 7 inches high. So I would just put a 7 there and see how it shrinks it proportionally. That's the word I was looking for. So it will make sure that it is in proportion. If I didn't do that, let's say I wanted to shrink it to a 6. See how now it's all gross and just shrunk together. So I'm going to go back, undo that, and then I can copy this and bring it over to this page. Paste that in if I wanted to put them together. Let's just move this a little bit over. And then we have this. This is a little wonky too. We'll straighten that up. It's not perfectly straight, but it'll do. Then I'm going to exit this one because I don't need it anymore since I already copied it. But let's say you want to do ones that have 2 photos in them. So let me open this up. This is a photo, 2 photos of my grandma. So we're going to shrink them down so you can see a little bit better. Again. Okay, so then I'm coming back over here to open the trace panel. Select trace area, and this time I can do both of them at the same time if I wanted to. So I'm going to do that and up my threshold. Now you can see sometimes if it gets too up there, it's going to merge both of those together, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to put it down just so I see that yellow line is consistent all the way around. Then trace and detach, because that is going to just trace the outer edge. So I have this one, and then I have this one, and I can delete the background, and there's that. Now, say I wanted to flip this, like I wanted her looking the opposite way. I can just go like this and go flip horizontally, and that's going to give you, you know, the opposite way. But I'm not going to do that because I'm used to seeing the photo like this. And I will copy and paste this in. Usually I try to, you know, put as many photos or whatnot in a page as possible so I can get the most bang for my buck when printing these out. I do print these out at UPS, but I will show you at the end what they came out like. I am going to have my mom print them on her printer just for some better quality with some photo paper. I don't mind if ephemera pieces from devotionals get printed at UPS, but because they're ephemera pieces and they're not like the focal point necessarily. And UPS honestly does a fairly good job. However, I really want these to be, you know, the best of the best as I honor my grandma in her life. So I would probably move these around and place things in different areas, but let's look at using ephemera, like from a Bible journaling kit. We have the newest kit from By the Well for God, Poured Out. So let me open these. So like I said, these are PDFs. So if you don't have the business edition or the higher edition of Silhouette, you might not be able to do this. You might have to go on the internet and do that converter. But for right now, since I have the business edition, I'm going to show you that. I'm going to import as a vector. So I'll import that. It'll take a second. I don't like working over here. I always bring stuff over. I'm not really sure why. It's just how I do it. So I'm coming back over here, open the trace panel, and then select trace area. And I'm going to hold that down, go over to the threshold, up it. Now this is super thin, that stem right there. So I want it pretty high up on that threshold. I don't even mind if it's grabbing some white around it. And then I'm going to do trace and detach. Let's see if I grabbed it all. Yes, I did. So, and then over here, I can play around with it here. So I can make it really big, or I can flip it horizontally, or let's do this. Put it back to normal. Let me make it straight. I could do this. So if I come here and click it, and then I go to, where is it? It's hard to see because I can't really see. Replicate right there. I could go like this. So I could go right here, and then I could go down one, and then over, and then I can make this little fun wreath. I could even go like this. Let's see. We're going to make a fun wreath for a second. So I'm going to open this. Make it pretty high up there, maybe not 100. Trace and detach. It'll take a second. So now I have this one. I want to bring this one to the front. So I'm going to right click and bring to front. And then I'm going to go like this and fill in these areas right here maybe. So then I'm going to maybe put one, I can either copy and paste and kind of spin it around. So I can make that look like it's, you know, making a wreath. But, you know, I could fuss with this a lot and make it look like a really full wreath. And then at the end, what you would do is you want to highlight everything and then right click and say group. And once you say group, it's going to group everything together so that I can move this around and it's going to stay together. And I can resize it. I can flip it. I could, let's see, I could double it up. So let's say I want to double it up and then kind of make it fuller. Ta-da! Maybe make it a little bigger. One side. And then maybe I want to group it. Again, so then this whole thing is together. So you can do a lot of fun things with Silhouette. I don't know. This is the program that works best for me just because I wanted it free. I know you can probably do some of this stuff in Illustrator or Photoshop, but this just is what works for me. So let's do this bird real quick. I will highlight it, and then we're going to up that threshold again. Pretty high. Maybe not that high. There we go. We'll go one more. And then trace and detach. We don't want to lose its little legs. Let's see. You know why that happened? Okay, so why this happened is because I was already working with some of this stuff and I had already basically cut it when I did trace and detach. See how all those are kind of cut? So if that ever happens to you, or if you forget that you've done that like I just did, you can delete and then delete this. Let's copy this and move it over to the other page. Actually, I don't have much room, so I'll leave that there, but then let's open it again. I forget which one I did. Yep, so import as vector. And then I have that whole thing again. So I can do, and it's always going to make you a new page when you do open. So just let you know that as well. So that is just real life, me forgetting right there that I had already cut that basically. So I'm just going to uplet that and trace and detach. And there you go. We can make him really big. We could flip this little guy around, but that is the beauty of this program. So it's very simple. Those are the extras that I cut when I did the bird. I will copy and paste this over here. So I would have the most amount of room for stuff. You could even make the bird, ooh, you can make the bird in the wreath. Anyways, so many different ideas as you work through this program. Like I said, I'm just not versed in Illustrator or Photoshop, but I'm sure there are ways to do that too. But this is just an easy way for me to edit different ephemera pieces, digital ephemera from different Bible journaling kits, or using it to edit different photos for a junk journal. There are so many different ways to use this software, so don't miss out. Pick up this free software. If you have any questions on how I do this, leave them down below, and let's cut on over to the next. I will show you how my photos came out for my grandma's journal. So I got these printed at UPS. However, I don't think they're the best quality, obviously, for photos. My mom is actually going to reprint these on her printer with, you know, photo paper to make it better, but these will be kind of things that hold my place. Or if you only have UPS, you know, do that. You can also do Walgreens or whatever, but UPS is right by my house. So yeah, not crazy excited about the quality. I do like the quality usually with ephemera pieces, but photos are a little bit different. I didn't print any ephemera pieces today. And some of these I can't show you because they have personal information on them. But these are the photos that I got printed. I have some information covered up right there, but that's a telegram that my grandpa had sent my grandma shortly after they met. So these will just be great in my little journal that I'm doing about her life. So this was some handwriting of hers, poems that she liked, a pin that she had, some hospital nursing buttons. This was her little composition notebook full of poems. And then just some more photos. I did different sizes on this one. Oops, sorry, I can't grab them. And then this is just, I liked keeping the handwriting in there to say what the photo was about, what they had written. And then the last one I can show you is this one. So that is what they all look like. Like I said, they're not horrible quality. I just want to make sure that these are the best of the best, since I really want to honor my grandma the best that I can. So yeah, that is that. I hope you enjoyed finding out how to use your Silhouette Studio program and software to flip and switch and just edit different photos and ephemera pieces. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below. Again, you can follow me over on Instagram as well at Wonderfully Made Handcrafting. And I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.